Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. What happens to the life after death? What happens to the life when the life is no more expressing as somebody? And what happens to the life when life is expressing as somebody? These are the three stages. Now, at this moment, life is expressing as somebody. I am the speaker, you are the hearer, I can't say listener. You are the hearer. I am having cough, I know about it. You are unnecessarily worried about it, it is your problem. So here life is expressing. So what happens to the life? A mess. Then second thing, when the life is not expressing as somebody, that means the life in the dream and deep sleep. And the third one, when the life is expressing or not expressing, and yet it is beyond expressions, the third stage. Beyond expressions is the one what we are studying, the soul and beyond. So this is what we are to study. So we have seen who is awake, who sleeps, where all the sense organs of action go, how the life continues although there is no expression of life. And then we were told all the sense organs and organs of action, they go back to the mind. The pranas keep alive, they keep functioning, and all of them ultimately in the deep sleep, they go back to the absolute reality. Therefore, it is said, ahar ahar brahma gamayati. We go back to the reality again and again. And then the body is full of bliss, because there is bliss but there is no experiencer of the bliss. Meaning we enter the deep sleep and thereby we merge in the absolute temporarily, but we do not know that. That is the deep sleep. After having completed this, now the teacher looks at the fifth student who came. Atha hainam shaibhyaha satya kamaha papracha sayo havai bhagavan etan manusheshu pranayantam omkaram avidyayita katamam vava satena lokam jayadidi. Thereafter, the son of Shivi, by name Satyakam, he asks, O Lord, O teacher, among the human beings, such a person is very rare. Therefore, among the human beings are many. Among the human beings, prayanantam omkaram abhidhyayita. Somebody is spending his whole life only on contemplation and understanding Om. Nothing else ever attracts him. There is some rare person like this. So, abhidhyayita. katamam vavasatenam lokam jayati. So by this reflection, contemplation, meditation on the Om, Omkara, where is the destination that he reaches? What he gains? Where does he reach? See? On this mantra, Bhagavan Shankara's commentary is very beautiful. Sahaya kaschit vai Bhagwan manusheshu manusyanam madhe tad adbhutam iva prayanantam maranantam yavat jivam iti etat omkaram abhidhyayita mukhena vinaya vichintayeta. So one rare indeed among so many human beings who is doing meditation, contemplation on Om. Now see, the meditation, contemplation of Om means what? बाह्य विषयेभ्यः उपसंहृत कर्णः समाहित चित्तः भक्त्या आविवेशित ब्रह्म भावे ओंकारे आत्म प्रत्यय संतान अविच्छेदः भिन्न जातीय प्रत्यांतरा खिलकृतं निर्वातस्थ दीप शिखा समा अभिध्यान शब्दार्थः. He who has withdrawn from the worldly indulgence, बाह्य विषयेभ्यः, his all sense organs are withdrawn from the world. Thereafter, samahita chittaha. Now his mind is no more wavering. There are no complaints. That whenever I sit for meditation, the mind is disturbed. This complaint is not there. Then, whenever I sit for meditation, I go to sleep. This complaint is also not there. There are two types of people. Either they are disturbed or they go to sleep. So, sache samahita chittaha bhaktya aveshita brahma bhave onkare. And he is committed with devotion to the supreme reality called as the Brahman, the Om, the Onkar. See, bhakti means incessant thought flow to some higher thing in life is called as bhakti. Incessant thought flow to something lower is called as attachment. Bhakti is always for the infinite. Attachment is always for the finite. So, bhaktya aviveshata brahma bhavi onkare. Atma pratyaya santana avichhedaha. Now he is all the time extremely aware of his own being. See, worldly objects do not bother, mind is not disturbed, mind is not sleeping. There is tremendous devotion and commitment to the truth called as devotion. And there is no dissimilar thought intercepting. So, bhinna jatiya pratyantara akhila krito nirvatastha deepa shikha samaha. And therefore his mind is like this flame. This flame has the potentiality to move. That bulb doesn't have the potentiality to move. Even if there is a fan, it will remain same way. But if this flame we take, if there is some blow of air, it will start moving. So there is kind of a life in this flame and not in that bulb of the electricity. So it is not that the mind has become dull, dumb. This is what happens with the drug addicts. Drug addicts' mind is like this all the time. Like a tube light. No expressions. Because the potentiality to interact is completely lost. We are not talking about that kind of mind. See, friend, that's why, in yoga, they talk about chitta vritti nirodha. They do not want the mind to be disturbed. No thoughts. Why we should be afraid of the thoughts? There is nothing to be afraid of thoughts. Let the thoughts come, who cares? See, so, Deepashika nirvatastha samaha abhidhyana shabdhartaha. And thus he is completely committed to this Om. See? Now see what type of Om we do. We simply chant 10 times Om. Om, 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 Om. Only a noise. See? This is not abhidhyana. Then, ब्रह्मचर्य सत्य अहिंसा अपरिग्रह त्याग संन्यास शौच संतोष अमायावित्व आदि अनेक यम नियमानुगृहीतः स एव यावत् जीव व्रत धारण कतमं वाव. And it's not only this thing, but also while conducting himself in the life, he is following yama niyama, satya, brahmacharya, ahimsa, aparigraha, sannyasa, shaucha, etc. Thus, his life is extremely self-disciplined. He is no more extrovert, and he is not depressed and dejected, and thus he is fully available for higher takeoff. See? We all have seen how the aeroplane takes off. When it becomes airworthy, then only it takes off. Such a huge structure, tons and tons of weight. When it runs very fast on the runway, in that fast movement of the aeroplane, it sheds the weight. It becomes lighter, and then only it can take off. In the same manner, our mind is carrying the burden of this world. Possessions, relations, achievements, failures, past, future. And therefore the mind is so heavy, and that heavy mind we want to take up into the meditation, it falls over. Accidents. See? Therefore, the mind is thus completely emptied of these burdens. Aneke hi jnana karma bhi jetavya lokaha tishtanti. Now, by the upasana and the karma, there are so many worlds which are attained. See? When you do the upasana, you will go to the Saket lok, you will go to the Golok, you will go to Shiva lok, Varuna lok, Bhur Bhuva Swaha Mahajanaha Tapaha. These are the various worlds one goes when one does upasana. See? That is one jnana and karma bhihi. And by the karma, karmana pitru lokaha. And when we do the good or bad karma, we go to the hell or the heaven or the world of the mains in this manner. There are many worlds. But when somebody is neither doing upasana of a particular god, nor doing karma to get something or anything, but he is now only reflecting, contemplating on Om. What is that he wins over by this? This is the question. And this is not for any Tom, Dick and Harry. It is a rare thing that somebody is spending his whole life on this. See? Now to that student the teacher answered, Tasmai sahovacha etad vai satyakama param cha brahma yadonkaraha tasmad vidvana etena eva ayatanena eka taram anveti. To that student, Satyakam, the teacher told, this Om is alambana, a support for both the Parabrahma, Aparabrahma. See, in Kathopanishad there is a mantra, Etadalambanam sreshtam, etadalambanam paraha, etadalambanam jnatva yo yadichati tasya tat. Om remains the same. But what we accept by the word Om, accordingly we reach there. See? What is the meaning? It is something like this, We see the world. After seeing the world, how do we interact with the world? That determines the quality of our experiences. Like, once I went in England somewhere, on the south, Penzance area. And when we are moving, I saw one place, there was, a docking area. So when I saw that, I told my friend, hey, stop here. And I got down and I was looking at it, so beautiful, picturesque. I said, let's have coffee here. We went to a coffee house. So beautiful it was. Then my friend told, Swamiji, this exact place, I came here about 10 years before. That time I was staying somewhere in Australia, let us say. And when I came here, I saw this place, and as you liked it, I also was stunned. I liked it. Then I left my husband in Australia, bye-bye, no more. Then I came to this place. And after I came here, then how to stay in this house? So there was a man living here. So I made friendship with him and married him. And after I got married to him, then I stayed in this house. So beautiful it is. But after some time I lost interest in this place. Then I went to some other place and left the house place and the husband behind. Went to the second place. This is how our mind makes us dance, go from place to place, person to person. But we don't understand that. Therefore, Om. By this Om, what do you think? Oh, Om, if I can make, nice golden pendants, I'll be able to sell a lot and I can make a lot of money. Om is the same. You are making business out of it. See? Om is the same. You make a t-shirt on that. Sell it and make money. See, friends. So, what we are seeking in this world, whether we are seeking the material prosperity or we are seeking something higher in life. So when we are seeking material prosperity, it is called as Apara Brahma. And when we are seeking the absolute truth, then it is called as the Parabrahma. This is what the teacher says, Satyakama Paramcha Aparamcha Brahma Yad Onkaraha. So this Onkara can help us achieving material prosperity, peace of mind, or merging in the absolute. Whatever you want can be achieved. See? The amount of effort that we put in leading a very comfortable and life with all the things that we want, how much efforts we put for getting all the affluence. If that much effort is put to give it up and focus attention on the self that you are, that many efforts are enough. If you look within, how much efforts we have put till date for getting small tidbits of this world. But when it comes to the absolute truth, the highest attainment in the human life, when it comes to that, then we are half-heartedly struggling and therefore we don't succeed. So, paramcha brahma sat yadaonkaraha tasmad vidvan etena eva ayatena ekadaram anveti. So, between the two, the Parabrahma or the Aparabrahma, one of the two, one is able to gain. Now see, it is said that the absolute reality is attributeless, formless being. Now this attributeless, formless being cannot be comprehended by average person. Be very attentive. The truth is to be understood exhaustively, completely. And the complete understanding is at 3 levels. The absolute reality is without attributes and without forms, nirguna nirakara. Like being, I am. Now this presence that we are, What is the shape of the presence? No shape of the presence. See? And what are the qualities? No quality. No Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha, none of the five: taste, smell, touch, none of them are in eye. Nor can we feel it is soft, it is hard. No feeling. Nor can it be conceived as a concept. I am old, I am young, I am rich, I am poor. This is not a concept. So the truth is attributeless, formless. And without understanding, when we are obsessed with this, we become intolerant because understanding is incomplete. Then the second aspect of the same truth is, the truth is with attributes but no form. Saguna Nirakar. With attributes means what? It is the inner controller. The fire remains always hot. The water remains liquid and cool. So this is the inner controller. When I sleep as a man, I don't wake up as a woman. There is inner controller. But there is no particular form. So this is Saguna with attributes but no forms, Nirakar. This one is to some extent recognized by the yogis. Then we come to the third level, that is Saguna Sakar with attributes and with form. Like, we have our Bhagavan Krishna standing here. It is easier for anybody to think of God with the form and with the name, because mind can function only in the name and the form. If there is no name and no form, the mind dissolves. See, friends, therefore the truth is simultaneously without attributes, without form, with attributes, without form, with attributes, with form, and yet beyond. So, the student's question is, he who is reflecting on this reality, Omkara, what is that he reaches? Because Omkara is only like a board, a signboard. Like, we have got so many boards here. To the kitchen, to, the toilet. So boards are there. So when it is said to the kitchen, you don't hold on to that board. I think I have reached the kitchen. No, it's the arrow mark. We don't hold on to the board and think. Like, it is written, when you enter Mumbai, Bombay, so you don't consider, chalo bhai, pahunch gaye. No, you have to go ahead. It's just an arrow mark. In the same manner, this Om is the arrow mark, and when you proceed in that direction, you reach. Now, who reaches where? This is the question. Saha yadi ekamatram abhidyayita sa tenaiva samveditaha turnameva jagatyam abhisampadhyate tam rucho manushalokaha upanayante sa tatra tapasa brahmacharyena shraddhaya sampanno mahimanam anubhavati. Now, further, Om, when we say, Om is not like any other letter, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, Pa, Pha, Ba, Bha, Ta, Tha, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No. Om is a mixture of three. A, U and Ma. A is a vowel, U is a vowel, Ma is a consonant. And be attentive. When we chant A, There is no modification in the organ of talking. Simply throw the air out, and when this gets modified, then it is called as oo. So for making oo, we have to change the structure of our mouth and also roll the tongue. No movement. Oo. And ma is the last sound uttered by the human lips. Pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. So ma, it closes. You can't keep the lips apart and chant ma. Try to do that, separate it. You cannot. So what is the total language? Total language is starts from the throat. So the complete human language is included in Om. And it has got 3 parts, U and Ma. And this is further, it's very big science, Omkar. We simply chant Om, Om, Om without understanding. Now out of these 3, there are some seekers who practice only the one matra. There are some seekers who practice 2 matra. And the third are the one who practices all the 3 matra. So there are 3 kind of doing meditation on this Omkara depending on matra 1, 2 and 3. Now based on this, they reach the 3 destinations. The destinations are different. So first one, Saha yadi ekamatra abhidhyayita, if the seeker is reflecting, doing meditation on only one matra, be attentive. We have 3 experiences in our life. One is the waking, second is the dream, third is the deep sleep. Waking experience is dream experience is oo, and deep sleep experience is ma. So he who is practicing meditation on a matra only, that means he is leading his life only as Mr. Waker. He is taking into account life is equal to only the waking experiences. He is not taking into account the dream and the deep sleep experiences as the total life. See. Now such person, he is now fully involved in the material world. For him, this world is absolute real. And there is nothing beyond that. And therefore, he will be struggling hard, achieving, selling, buying, and money, then many kind of scams. So much. Today, before coming, I was reading the news. Another coal scam of something like 5.2 million crores. You can't even count it. See? So much of things we want to accumulate in the waking world. And what we do, that we do not know. See? Therefore, this person who is all the time only focusing attention on the material prosperity with single-pointedness, commitment, using all the techniques, sa tenaiva samveditaha turnameva jagatyam abhisampadhyate. And such a person, because of this, he is able to establish himself as the most successful man in this world, Bill Gates. All the time, fully involved in being successful in the business or politics, etc. Now, to such a person, tam rucho manushya lokam upanayante. Such a person, when he dies and finishes his experiences and then again is born, then the mantra from the Rigveda, they bring him again to the human form. So such a person, he dies and again is born as a human being. He dies, again is born as a human being. And thereafter having born, this is one of the most important things, he is not born in a wretched life. See? But he is born in such a family where Athava yoginameva kule bhavati dhimatam. He has enjoyed all the prosperity of the life. Now the prosperity is no more an attraction. See, prosperity cannot keep us attracted for long. I was in Norway and my friend asked me, Swamiji, how do you like this place? It's very beautiful. Don't you feel that you should stay here? I said, no, I don't feel. Why? I said, there is not a single place in this world which I like. I enjoy everywhere. I said, take example, those people who are born and staying here, you ask them, will you like to stay here all the life? We have no choice, therefore we are staying in the damn cold, If I get a chance, I will go to New York. And you ask the New Yorkers? They say, oh God, it's hell, we want to get out of this place. Because more than where you are, wherever you are, how you are is important. And that is determined by the mind. Therefore, after having gone through the prosperous life, through working only on the waking plane, then he is again born, and thereafter tapasa brahmacharyena shraddhaya sampannaha, then his spiritual life is tapasya. See? Now in today's world, if you want to understand this, take this example. The Western prosperity and the extroverted life has become fashion in India. Because it was not there earlier. And the Indian simple life, handmade things, which were not in the technologically advanced West, that has become a fashion there. See? When the Westerners come to this country, they don't come with too many clothes and all that. They come with very simple thing and they buy here locally. It is so cheap for them. And while going, they leave it here. Because there is no more attraction to the prosperity. They have already lived that. See, friends. So, such a person who has lived through all the prosperity, then he is now interested in tapasa, tapasya. So, in the simple way, he starts living. And in this tapasya, what is achieved? First, independence. No more dependent on worldly things and beings. And second aspect of the tapasya, austerities, is discover self-confidence. When these two things happen, then only the tapasya is successful. Tapasa. Then brahmacharyena. Brahmacharya is, one is celibacy, and second is spending life and time only in the study of the scriptures, understanding, meditation, etc. No more interested in the worldly gossips. See? That's why, I never entertain anybody in my room. If somebody wants to meet me outside. When somebody meets me outside, I can go away. Hey, excuse me, I have to go to toilet and forget about that fellow. If somebody comes and sits in you can't ask him to get out. See? And what is there? Nothing to talk. Only the worldly gossips. See, friends, one of the most important spiritual practice, abstain from all these topics. There is no need. See, in our dining hall, I don't know these days, earlier when I was staying here, these people will come and sit for food, particularly Westerners. And they will sit there on the dining table for 2 hours, 1 hour, and the kitchen staff is frustrated. You go now. See, you finish your food, it takes only maximum 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But the food is kept and keep on talking and hours together. This is not spiritual life. See? So, brahmacharyena, first of all the celibacy, and second is only theme is the divine principle, nothing else. See? So, tapasa brahmacharyena, and the third is shraddhaya sampannaha, and there is tremendous commitment, faith in the divine plans. And then mahimanam anubhavati, then he experiences the glory of the human life. See, the glory of human life is this. There was a great Mahatma, and the King Yadu went and saw him. He was nicely lying down. So the king asked, "Sir, how come you are so happy and content? You have nothing, you have no wife, no children, no prosperity, no kingdom, no army, and no vehicles, no nothing. How come you are so happy?" He said, "Therefore I am happy." Our happiness is in the things and beings around. Then he says, "Look here, the happiness is not outside. You are happiness. You don't have to get happiness." See? Therefore, he thus experiences the divine bliss within himself. Now the second type of Onkar Upasana, atha yadi dvimatrena manasi sampadyate saha antariksham yajubhi unniyate somalokam sa somaloke vibhutim anubhuya punaravartate. Now a seeker who is doing the upasana on the two matras of the Onkar, A and U. See? So A refers to the waking world, U refers to the dream world. Dream world means what? Now the seeker is focusing attention not on the external prosperity, but his attention is now focused on the quality of the mind. Now he starts functioning on his own mind. We function by the mind. He starts functioning on the mind. Either friends, we are unable to understand this because we are so obsessed. One of the spiritual practices give obsession away. Too much obsessed. And such people, they pretend or they think that they are walking spiritual path, but they are not. See? Then they are discarded everywhere they go. Nobody wants them because of their obsession. Obsession is a disease of the mind. It is like, for the feet we have got elephantitis. In the same manner, elephantitis of the mind is obsession. Now with that elephantitis, suppose somebody has got elephantitis on one leg and other leg is having polio, if he has to run, will he be able to run? Exactly the same way. This mind with obsession, there only we spend our whole life. But those seekers who are now working on the mind is living in utter awareness. One example I'll give you. See, you go anywhere, this mother-in-law, daughter-in-law problem is eternal. Now in this problem, who should have more wisdom? The daughter-in-law or the mother-in-law? Who is grown up? Who is elder? It is the mother-in-law, isn't it? So she should have understanding. But they don't have. See, friends. And then one mother-in-law came and asked me, "Swamiji, you know my daughter-in-law, she is so and so, what should I do?" I said, "You take a gun and kill her." So no problem. No, don't joke. I say, "I am not joking, really go and kill her." No, please tell me what should I do. I said, "You tell me, do you want your son should be happy or he should be miserable?" He should be happy. Do you want a certificate from your son that he loves you? Why don't you allow them to live their life? You get out. But I brought him up right from childhood. Elderly people you can't give also one. Useless. We don't understand that we are unwanted, we should get away. Where we are not required, we should have the wisdom to leave the place. This is working on the mind. But we don't work on the mind. We keep on hanging, whether we are wanted or we are unwanted. So here, those seekers who are practicing meditation on the two matras of the Omkara, now they are working on the mind. So when they are working on the mind, then Manasi Sampadyate. Now they are no more living as the body, but they are living through the body. But also they are living only as the mind, not as the body, and not going beyond the mind. They are still in the mind level. Now such people are extremely emotional. They are extremely weaklings. They can get into depression very easily. They can get hurt very easily. They want all the time recognition. See? And then such people are a big problem to themselves first and then to others. See? These are very simple things, friends. If you live your life in utter awareness, I'll just tell you an example, just to make you understand how we are the slaves of our mind. Every day you are coming here and sitting for the lecture. You don't want to change your position and your place. See? Is it not? Suppose somebody comes in your seat. See how? We don't know. It is like, the cows come from the, forest after grazing. Where they will go? They will go to their, their post. Tie me down. See, friends, we have to live in extreme awareness. But we are working on the mind. This itself is unknown to us. Because thoughts come in the mind, we think we are thinkers. See, friends, it is something like, because there are trees, it is a garden. No, it is a jungle. It is not a garden. In garden, every plant is selected, culled, pruned, watered, irrigated, and manured and taken care of. Every single plant in a garden. In a jungle, anybody can grow anywhere. Now look within. What is our mind? Jungle or a garden? When we go to the jungle, we are afraid, is it not? Are we not afraid of our own mind? Because it's a jungle. And then we want to run away from the mind. And we run away by getting ourselves engaged. We put the buds in our ears and then iPod ding, 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 ding. Running away from yourself. Friends, work on the mind. So here it is said, Yatha yadi dvimatrena manasi sampadyate saha antariksham yajubihi unniyate somalokam. Then he enters the world of the moon. See? So, with one matra when he does the upasana of Omkara, he remains on the earth. When he is doing the upasana with two matra, he enters the world of the moon at the level of the mind. A person who rises at the level of the mind, he will not be disturbed by the things outside. His concern is, am I at peace with myself or not? That is important. Worldly achievements and failures are not important. What is important is, are we at peace with ourselves or not? That is important. And this is what Bhagavad Gita's foundation. Sukha dukhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujjasva naivam papam avapsasi. When we are living in this world, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, sometimes we gain, sometimes we are losers, and sometimes we gain happiness, sometimes misery. Under all these six opposites, when our mind is at peace, equanimity, then alone we are working on the mind. See, you must have seen these tennis matches, etc., which go on the TV. So when that fellow hits a proper shot, he gets a point. Oh, these cricket fellows, when they when they take a very difficult wicket, and when that wicket, this batsman is out, look at this bowler. And when the catch drops, is this life disgusted? But that becomes the fashion of the day. Work on the mind, friends, work on the mind. Lead life extremely alert way. See, few points. Where we are not required, we should not be there. When we are not asked, we should not talk. Very important. I should not say, but you are dumb. When you know I should not say, why do you say? See, friends, Manasi sampadyate, sa somaloke vibhuti anubhuya punaravartate. Now such a person, as long as his sadhana is going on, he will be okay, goody. It is something like, as long as the satsang is going on, we are so happy. The moment we go out from here and go to the dining hall, and they say, this food is not for you, this is for someone else, and we become angry. All meditation, wisdom, knowledge dissolved in nothing. See, our spirituality is only within the hall, and that too only for 1 hour. 1 hour spirituality, after that spirited. See, friends. So, sa somaloke vibhutim anubhuya. Therefore, Swamiji, when we sit for meditation, it is such an experience out of the world. But then after meditation, again, useless. That meditation which begins and ends is the cartoon of meditation. Meditation never ends. We live 24/7 in meditation. That is meditation. So this is the meaning of upasana of the 2 matras. Now the 3 matras upasana. Yaha punaha etam 3 matrena om iti ena va akṣarena param purusham avidhyayita sa tejasi surye sampannaha yatha padodaras tyaktva tvacha vinirmuchyate evam havai sa papana vinirmuktaha sa samabhihi unniyate brahmalokam sa etasma jivaganat parat param purushayam ikshate tadeto shlokau bhavataha. Now the third. So the first upasana was Om, only A, the waking experience is only taken care of. Then A, U, now the seeker is evolved, his attention is more on the quality of the mind. And such people, they fall victim to their own mind. For example, you must have seen in many ashrams, that's why I don't go to many ashrams. There are too many regimentation of rules and regulations. There is not life. See? Don't talk. No talking. Observe mauna. Hare Ram Ram. Are you in a, this Hitler's gallows? Lead cheerful and happily. See? They will be putting a board outside. I don't put the board there at least. Meditation in progress. All are sleeping. Don't disturb. This is not meditation. Do not talk while taking food. When you are walking, don't look at each other. When you are walking, you should look only at your toe, whether the toe polish is there or not. Or see, this is not spirituality. So here, three matrena, a, o and ma. Now we come to the third. Sa punaha etam trimatrena om iti eneva akṣarena paramam purusham dhyayita sa tedasi surya sampannaha. Now he is no more interested in the world, achievements or failures, no more interested in the quality of the mind. He has gone beyond. Be attentive. Those who give too much importance to cleanliness, they are always disturbed. There was one lady somewhere in a camp, and the South Indians used to prepare bulk idlis and sambar, and a man used to give by hand, take idli, 3, 4, like that. So this lady said, don't give me, I'll take with my own hand. And she used to have a glove, And with that glove she will be eating idli. Then sambar, you don't give, I will take it. Another glove. And I was watching. I said, let me see whether she is eating with the gloves or what. See? Too much of obsession makes them so delicate that their immune system is completely gone. Little bit things here and there happen, immediately they are upset. See? It is something like, bringing a child in a ICU right from birth. So that fellow has not even heard any sound except the machines in the ICU. That's it. That is not life. Therefore, yes, there should be peace, but that doesn't mean that we are obsessed with the peace. So third stage. First peace, the waking world. 1 matra, onkar, sadhana. 2 matra, no noise, only peace. 3 matra, whether there is noise or there is peace, it makes no difference. See? Then we have gone beyond the gross world and the subtle world. How important it is. See? This peace, which is not enhanced by the Shanti, and this peace which is not destroyed by the Ashanti, is the real peace. See, therefore, he who is thus contemplating on the Supreme Self, Param Purusham, be attentive, what was said, Onkara is for Apara Brahma and Para Brahma. The first two that we have seen, that pertains to the Apara Brahma, the world, either the gross world or the subtle world. Now we have to go beyond the gross and subtle world. Going beyond gross and subtle world is going at a causal level. Be attentive. Gross world is at individual level. Mind is at individual level. From the individuality we go to the totality. See? Causal level. So this is what he said here. When he param purusham abhidhyayita sa tejasi surya sampannaha, then he is no more living on the earth or in the moon, but he enters the world of the sun. See, friends, it is because of the sun alone the moon and the earth can exist. If there is no sun, there cannot be moon. And if there is no sun and moon, on earth life cannot be. So what is the cause of the earth and the moon? What is the cause of the body and the mind? That is the Parampurusha, the causal level. Technically, it is called as God or Brahmaji or Hiranyagarbha. It is not the absolute reality as yet. Hang around. We are not yet gone beyond. We are still in the cause and effect. See? So, he enters the world of the sun. Suryasi, Tejasi Surya Sampannaha. Then, Yatha Padodaras Tvacha Vinirmuchate Evam Sahavai Papmana Vinirmuktaha Sa Samabihi Unniyate Brahmalokam. See? Now, like, this example is very beautiful. Like, the snake, every 6 months the snake drops his skin. If you see in the jungles where there are some thorns, etc., sometimes you come across the whole slough of the skin of the snake, it goes out of it. And the dead skin without the snake inside is simply there. And when the air flows, it also moves as if it is a snake. So also, this seeker, he is free from the gross world of waking experiences. He is free from the mental world of being somebody. And he merges in the Brahmaji or Hiranyagarbha, or the wave goes back to the ocean. So wave and ocean, they are the effect and the cause. So this jiva is now going out of the effect level, he has entered the causal area. But still he is in relativity. See. And how do we know that we have entered the causal level? So, sa evam papana virmuktaha sa samabhi unniyate brahma lokam. And there he is free from all the sins. Now when we are free from all the sins, in the deep sleep, we are free from all the sins. Be attentive. Our waking experiences are separate. Our dream experiences are separate. But our deep sleep experience is common. My deep sleep and your deep sleep is not separate. The deep sleep of a human being and the deep sleep of a donkey is not separate. The ocean for a tsunami and ocean for a ripple, they are not separate. Ocean is only one. So, the deep sleep at the individual level is Brahmaji at the total level. See, out of the deep sleep alone, again the I is born. And he lives good and bad life. And again he goes back to the same deep sleep. So what is our life? Unmanifest, manifest. Unmanifest, manifest. This is constantly going on. See, friends. So, what is that which we give importance to? The worldly life of the waker, or the subtle life at the mind level of the dreamer, or the pragya, the deep sleeper in the deep sleep. That is why when one is tired, frustrated, depressed, dejected, that means gross and the subtle world is no more entertaining, then we go to sleep. See? And what is sleep? In the sleep, we are nobody, we have nothing. So the individuality dissolves in the sleep. See, friends, this individuality-less experience is living in God. See? In the deep sleep, we are neither mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, nor rich, poor, nor Indian, non-Indian, nor 2014, 1947, neither healthy nor unhealthy, none. All the differences dissolve. See? So, deep sleep is the ma, the third matra. So, ma, we close our mouth. So, waking. Dream. Deep sleep. After this, some gap. Again, this is what it said. In the beginning was the Word, and from this Word alone the whole world has come out. And that word is Om. In this manner, when we understand our life, as a waker, we live only 1/3 life. As a waker and a dreamer, we are living 2/3 life. As a waker, dreamer and deep sleeper, we are living 3/3 life. But all these three are supported by something else, the fourth one. Unless we discover that, we will not be able to go beyond the soul. Rest we will see in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.